There is a feeling of elation. Above the clouds, a mother dreams of a beautiful life with her family in her new home, Canada, the land of opportunities. Meet Julina Maluto. She arrived in Canada with 4 other nannies in October 2008. She paid a recruiting agency, Rakila International, $1,100 for an employer, only to find out it was bogus. Little did she know that she would be fighting for the rights of all nannies.
We 4 arrived, no employer, different reason, different situation, and very upset.
Rakila forced Julina to sign a contract to pay a placement fee of $5,000 and to hand over her passport. The Live-in Caregiver program puts many restrictions on caregivers because 1. They have temporary status. Secondly, they have to work only for the employer stated on their work permit. Thirdly, they have to live with their employers. After many weeks waiting, Rakila finally found Julina an employer. But Julina faced maltreatment. She lacked privacy. She shared a bathroom with her employer's son who came in while she showered. Her employer did not respect her.
Her behavior is not good. She always yelling and screaming early in the morning. No consideration. Even if I lay down, call me downstairs. You see your mistake, you see your mistake. You cannot wait until morning.
Julina worked for 18 hours every day from 6 a.m. to 12 midnight doing house chores.
The last part that I had to do is ironing too. All I make iron, towel and everything. 2 big boxes, so I did it.
One night, tired and overworked, Julina burnt her hand while ironing. Her employer showed no compassion.
I cannot forget that she don't even say, oh my God. So I said, I need to move this. I cannot. I remember my children that I promised that I have a good employer.
Julina quit that job and returned to the Rakila basement where she stayed with 16 other Filipino women. They are called one by one from the basement for employers to choose as their nannies and take home. It's the worst kind of human trafficking.
We sleep in one room, a very small room, 1 bed, 3 girls, down on the floor, 3 girls, down on the floor, 4 girls. Some of the girls outside the basement, in the sofa, and some of the girls in the office. So we sleeping together. What I feel is, it seems that I want to kill myself when I was there at the basement.
Julina knew this is wrong. She stood up against Rakila and demanded for what belonged to her, respect and dignity. 46-year-old Celia Mansibang completed the required 24 months. She's been working in Canada as a nanny since 2004. In September 2008, Celia applied for permanent resident in hopes to be an immigrant of Canada and sponsor her family. She's been separated since 1994.
Noong January 29, I was diagnosed with stomach cancer. So, nabigla ako doon sa result ng ko sa hospital kasi hindi ko naman akalain na nagkakaroon ako ng gano'n na sakit. Pero nung nag-medical naman ako, nung nag-file ako ng open ko, everything is fine.
The doctor told her she had 6 months to live. Celia did not have OHIP.
Ang advice niya is better to go home in the Philippines and spend my time for my family.
Celia's medical bills totaled to $17,000 due to an expired OHIP while waiting for her permanent residency. Celia prayed the immigration will grant her landing status so she can receive proper medical services and to see her family. Julina, with her fellow caregivers, are leading campaigns to reform the program full of loopholes. On April 5, they discussed about the unregulated Ontario agencies that charge caregivers high fees for jobs that do not exist.
Their business is shut down because of that my article.
Politicians took notice and proposed a bill.
Bill 160 is a proposal put forward by a member of Provincial Parliament, Mike Cole. It's really a response, his personal response to the media exposure of the lack of regulations for recruitment and employment agencies. And it's actually not going to go much further because the government of Ontario will be proposing their own legislation to regulate employment agencies. It's great. It is indeed a small victory for live-in caregivers.
Without her landing status, Celia has no OHIP. Without it, Celia, a cancer patient, cannot receive palliative care.
When somebody is applying for permanent residence and their work permit had already expired, but they submitted an extension along with their permanent residence application. So what happens in that situation is they don't have a piece of paper saying they're authorized to work, but they do have, by operation of law, legal authorization to continue working as a live-in caregiver program. Now, Immigration Canada understands that concept completely. The Ministry of Health doesn't. So they deny live-in caregivers in those situations continuous health care coverage. And only until they get some type of approval from immigration do they once again get health coverage.
She hasn't received her landing status. That caused her a big worry.
Terry Olaita and the Cross Resource Cultural Group worry because processing the papers will take a year or more. The Filipino community acted quickly to help Celia.
Sa madaling panahon, dahil ang wish ni Celia, unang-una, makita niya ang pamilya niya. So doon ako nag-concentrate na kung magkakaroon na makakakolekta tayo ng maraming petition signatures, maring mapansin tayo ng immigration.
Immigration granted Celia her permanent resident on March 27. Her husband, William, and children Lizandra and Vincent arrived in Canada on March 29 as landed immigrants.
Kasi sa tagal ng paghiwalay namin, gusto ko talagang magsama-sama na kami. Ngayon, masaya na ako dahil nandito na kami, sama-sama na kami. Ang masakit, yung inaasahan kong kasiyahan na yun, ganyan naman ang misis ko. Halos di ko matanggap nung nakita ko siya. Pero, Diyos na lang nakakaalam. At titiisin ko na lang lahat. Alang-alang sa mga anak namin.
Sobrang saya. Sa totoo lang kasi ngayon, first time ko talaga mag-birthday na meron si mama na may isip ako. May nagkaisip na.
Hindi ko mapipil na nawawala si mama kasi parang kulang. Kailangan gusto ko rin siya pag magsama kami, kung gano'n din katagal na nawala siya gusto ko, gano'n din katagal kami magsasama.
Masaya naman ako nung dumating sila kasi naano ko rin yung hardship ko sa pagtatrabaho dito. At least nakuha ko din sila dito. So I'm so happy about that.
If Canada needs migrant workers like caregivers, why aren't they permanent resident from day one with full human rights? What will landed status mean to a live-in caregiver?
There is this sense of belonging, right? And there is this sense of empowerment that we are not second-class citizens. We are not the modern-day slaves, but we are your equal. You know, we work hard, we pay our taxes, we pay our dues, and we are just like any of those professionals who are here, actually, because we are trained, we are certified, and we are serious with our work. Not only serious, but I must say, we work from the heart. We really care for the children that we take care of. We really care for this Alzheimer patient, senior citizen who really do not know herself anymore, but we do care with our hearts. And so I believe that that status of being a permanent resident here would give us that stability and also the empowerment.
Canada needs to embrace caregivers who fully want to commit for the service of the country. Let this be their home. Hear their cries. Good enough to work, good enough to stay.